Hi guys, welcome back for episode number 8 of the weekly playback. You might be seeing this a little bit later than usual because usually I try to shoot on a Friday, but yesterday was super crazy, so it is Saturday afternoon right now when I'm finally shooting this episode, so you might not see it until the evening or even maybe on Sunday. So let's get into the games I played. I played quite a number of games because I had an industry friend visiting me on Tuesday, the CEO of Eagle Griffin Games, so I took the day off and we spent all day playing games, so that was really nice. So let me get into the games that I played this past week. So first I'll talk about Cafe. This is a little game designed by Rolla and Costa, I think, yeah. Artwork by Marina Costa, and then there's like a little pencil. I don't know what that means. David M. Santos Mendez. Maybe that's the publisher. I don't know. Okay, no, or maybe it's the editor of the rulebook or something like that. I don't know. The publisher is Pythagoras, I think. Anyway, it's a really cute game. It's for 1 to 4 players, I think. 1 to 4 players. Okay, so in this game, you are running a cafe, and you will have your own cafe card. Let me just pull those out. So yeah, you're going to have a cafe, and with your business card, which will show you the number of actions. So you're basically taking turns drafting cards from the market, and the cards will have like different symbols on them. So the bean symbols will help you produce beans that you need to produce coffee. The roaster, so you basically, your number of actions will be determined by how many coffee cups are on display in your tableau area. And if you draft a card with a coffee cup on it, you will need to pay a bean from your supply. However, if you have 2 ships in your tableau, then you don't need to pay the bean cost. So you are trying to get a bunch of different symbols in your tableau area and hopefully group them together, because grouping them together will make your actions more efficient. You will be able to do more things. So you want to produce beans, then you want to send those beans to the to the dryer, sorry. Yeah, you send them to the dryer first, which is here, then you send them to the coffee roaster, and then from the coffee roaster you send them to the various shops that you will have in your tableau area. Let me just find a card with a shop on it. Yeah, like this. And the shop will show you which kind of coffee they want and how many points you will get if you are able to deliver that coffee. So, you get to take as many actions as you are able to, depending on the number of coffee cups showing in your tableau area. As a 2-player game, I thought it was really good. I've played it solo several times. As a solo game, it is very hard. It's a beat your own score, but they give kind of an outline, I think, on BGG, like what a good score would be. And yeah, I really suck at it solo, but I love it. Like, I think it's one of my favorite solo games to play, actually, just trying to maximize the number of actions you can take with the efficiency by trying to group things together. It's not easy. It's pretty difficult. Yeah, and I like this game a lot. And I also, the different components are these, it would have been nice if they look like coffee beans, but they don't. But let me try to open this container. Oh my gosh, I can't open it. Okay, there we go. Those are the different beans, and this is your action marker, your how many turns you'll get. I bought this little container from Trader Joe's. It had chocolate in it, but it matches the game perfectly, and these components fit perfectly into it. So yeah, so that is Cafe. I really like it. I think it's a Portuguese publisher, so I do know that I got my copy from TGG Games, the Gaming Goat, which is a retailer, and they also have an online website, so you can buy games from them. So yeah, so that's where I got my copy of Cafe, and I absolutely love it. So it was nice to be able to play a 2-player game of it with Randall when he was visiting. The next game I will talk about, I did not play with Randall, I played with another friend of mine. A 2-player game of it is Bruxelles 1893. So let me get the information out. This is for 2 to 5 players, and it is designed by no, I don't think that's the designer's name. Is that the designer's name? Etienne Esperman? Is that the designer's name? I think it was. No, it is. Designer, Etienne Esperman. Artwork by Alexandre Rocher, and published by Pearl Games. Actually, there is going to be a new version of this game coming out on Kickstarter in a couple of months, I think, with brand new artwork and an included expansion. So the reason I bought this game from BGG Market, I bought it new, but it's dented, but that's fine. I was I really wanted to buy this game, and because when I was on the Dice Tower back in February doing my top 10 worker placements, I mentioned how Bruxelles 1897 is one of my top 10 worker placement games. That is the card version of this game. And then they asked me if I had played the board game version, and admittedly I had not, and I really wish I had, so I could, you know, compare them. But now I have, and now I can compare them, and I like the board game version so much better. It is a seriously beautiful game. I love it reminded me a lot of the card game, actually. On the one side of the board, maybe I'll pop up a picture of the game that I took while I'm talking about it. But on the one side, you're gonna have these things stacked up, and these are like I don't remember what this is called. The Art Nouveau board. Yeah, so that's the Art Nouveau board where you can take different Art Nouveau actions, and you can only take actions based on a certain area that you're allowed to take actions on during that part of the game. So like sometimes you may want to put down one of your own, you may want to build and have your own architect card or whatever occupy an area so that you will get a bonus if someone uses that square. However, that gets a little bit tricky because you don't know which section of the Art Nouveau board is actually going to be used in the next round. So actually I ended up putting my architect cards or whatever, my building cards on areas of the Art Nouveau board that were not used that often, so I didn't get to take my bonus action all that often. But it's very much like the card game well, I should say the card game is very much like this game, since this game came first, where you will have a certain number of workers and they may be put to jail if you go on the city board, the Brussels board, and whoever uses the top actions the most will have to place a worker into jail, and then you'll have to get that worker out of jail. But yeah, it's a really cool game. There's like this cool part of the board where you have this one like little square, and if you are selling artworks, you get to move that square around to determine, based on the number of artworks you have in front of you, to determine how much, so you can try to switch, what reward you'll get for selling an artwork. So, you could try to get more money instead of more points. So that is really cool. I really like that. You have tokens around here, and so that will determine what you need to build certain things. I can't remember what, I think that was when you're building on the Art Nouveau board, that's what that is. And then of course there's different people you can buy for their special, hire, recruit for their special abilities. But yeah, it's a really great game, and I seriously love it so much. I definitely think it is, this board game is in my top 10 worker placement games of all time. May replace the card game, I think. I don't know. But yeah, I really cannot wait for the new version of this game when that comes out. Oh no, Mike. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so that's Brussels. Let's talk about Runika and the Six-Sided Spellbooks. So, fun fact, well, before I do my fun fact, this game is designed by Shannon Kelly with art by Tyler Johnson, and it is for 1 to 4 players, and if you have the expansion from Kickstarter, then 5 players. So yeah, my fun fact is that this is the game that I did my first ever 1-minute overview video for when I first started doing them in February of 2020. But also then I ended up deleting that video and doing it again because when I looked back at it a couple of weeks later, I was not happy with it, so I did it again. And now looking back at my videos from like February, now I would like redo so many of them because I honestly think the quality of my videos has improved over time, and now as you might be able to see, now I actually have the board in front of me when I'm doing videos, and I point to stuff on the board rather than just holding stuff up. But anyway, so this is a pattern building game. So you are going to have your own board, and it's going to have like the spinning thing on it. So you are going to take turns drafting dice, and you are going to be trying to push in your dice into your spell grid to complete different runes. And different rune cards will give you special abilities. So like sometimes they may give you a once per round ability, they may give you a continuous ability, they may give you a once per game ability. I mean, not once per round, because most of them are once per round, but once, some of them are once per game. And then there's like special advanced mastery runes, which give you even stronger abilities. So yeah, it's a really cool game. The first one to get to 20 points, I believe, wins. In fact, I had gotten to 20 points before I even, realized I had reached 20 points. And then when I finally realized, oh wait, I have 20 points, then I announced that I had reached the Mark, but I think that I think Randall won, if I remember correctly. I don't think I won. I can't remember. But yeah, this is a really great game. I really like it. In terms of, for me, I would prefer a game like this to Sagrada, which I've played Sagrada a couple of times. You know, it's another game with really pretty dice, Sagrada, and you know, you're trying to like build patterns and stuff. Look at the dice in this game. Oh wait, let me try to get some blues. Oh my gosh, still no blues. Okay, oh here we go. Here are some blues. Okay, so yeah, these dice are super pretty, and they've got different rune symbols on them. And the reason I think I like it more than Sagrada is because of the different abilities you can use of the professors and the different rune cards you can collect. Honestly, I've played Sagrada twice and I don't remember much about it. It was too long ago. But if you're looking for a dice game, like a pattern building game of some kind, like with abstract strategy, then I would highly recommend Runika and the Six-Sided Spellbooks. The downside is that this game is really difficult to find. It's a indie Australian publisher. I was able to get my copy secondhand on BGG Market because a friend had said that he thinks I would really like it, and so I went on BGG Market, and an online gaming friend happened to be selling his copy, so it was like, yeah, score. So I was able to buy it that way. But yeah, I really love Runika and the Six-Sided Spellbooks. And oh yeah, sorry, I don't think I mentioned the publisher name, Foxtail Games. So yeah, it was really nice playing it. I've played it a number of times, 2-player over video chat. I've played it solo a number of times, but yeah, it's a really great game. I really like it. Okay, the next game I have is, okay, I played Meadow, which is right here. I'm not going to take it out because I've taken it out before. The first time I played Meadow, I played it at 3 players, and this time I played 2 players with Randall. But let me just quickly hop onto Board Game Geek so I can give you guys all the information and also pop up the information on the side here if I end up doing that. Okay, so Meadow is designed by Clemens Kaliki. It is for 1 to 4 players, published by Rebel Studio. So it's a really beautiful, what's the mechanic, I guess you would say? Yeah, card drafting, hand management, set collection. Yeah, set collection. It's a set collection game because you have different types of cards that you are trying to stack up on top of each other to get points. So this is a promo pack, actually, the promo P-pack. So I didn't have it, and someone on Twitter, a friend on Twitter, said that he had some spares and he sent them to me. So I just picked it up yesterday, and these, oh, they're upside down. And these cards are just so beautiful from the promo pack. And I actually have a couple of extras that I can give away. He sent me a number of extras. Oh wait, some of these are upside down. So if you are looking for this promo pack and you don't have it, do get in touch with me, like leave a comment or something, because I have a couple of extras I can give to people. Or maybe I can do a giveaway of some kind, I don't know. Yeah, so Meadow is a really great game. I've talked about it before in another video and I still love it a lot. So don't know what else to say about it. I think it was really good at 2 players as well, because you know, you have the board and you're going to block off different sections where you can put your player marker, your path token. So, you know, it's just a fewer number of spaces that you can use in a 2-player game, but it was still a very good game. It still felt like a very tight race to the end, where I, you know, wanted to do a certain number of things, but I just didn't have enough time. And I think it was like that the first time I played it as well. But yeah, I highly recommend Meadow. I think it's such an amazing game with just absolutely stunning artwork. I just really, really love it so much. Another game I played with Randall was Odin's Ravens, which I realized after playing it with him that I had been playing it incorrectly the last couple of times I played it. Like, oops. This is a game where you have a like a line of cards, 16 cards with different terrain types, and you have to use your own cards to move your raven along the path, going up and then back down. So I had unintentionally made the game more difficult for myself when I played with a different friend a couple of times, because I had his raven starting on one end and my raven starting on the other, and I would have to go up this way and down this way, and he would have to go the other way. And based on how you can alter cards with certain Loki cards, I realized that, yeah, we had actually made the game more difficult for ourselves playing that way. But, you know, now I know that there's two different ways I can play the game, the incorrect way or the correct way, because either way it's a fun game. so yeah, if you're looking for a really good two-player game, I do highly recommend Odin's Ravens. It is designed by Thorsten Gimler and published by Osprey Games. This is the second edition, I think. I think there was a first edition. So yeah, I think it's a really great two-player game and I really enjoy it. So yeah, that's Odin's Ravens. Let's move on to the Red Cathedral. Okay, I'm not going to stop the video. That was very, very loud. Sorry about that. Okay. I'm just going to leave this here for now. Okay. Let's talk about the Red Cathedral, which is up there. I'm not going to remove it. So the first time I played it as a two-player game, which was a very good race. Oh, let me just mention the designers. I know it's published by Devere Games, and oh, there's a promo card. I should get the promo card for it since I really love this game. It's published, designed by Isra C and Shay S, published by Devere Games for 1 to 4 players. The first time I played it as a two-player game, and it felt like a very close race to the end. I absolutely loved it. And now I played it as a 3-player game with Randall and a friend of mine who came over. And even as a 3-player game, I thought it was such a tight race to the end. Like, I just needed one more move. And I think I could have won. Like, oh, yeah, so close, because, you know, you have a cathedral and you're building certain parts of the cathedral and how many ownership flags you have on it, and decorations. So you can also add decor to the cathedral. So you can add doors and windows and like a cross on top. So those count towards your ownership points. And then whoever owns the largest, whoever has the most ownership of the tower that is being scored will get the full amount of points. Then the next player will get half of those points rounded down. And then the next player will get half of the second player's points rounded down. So I would have won if I had just been able to build one more thing. I just needed one more turn and I could have built one more thing and I would have had the points I needed to win. It was a very tight game, a very close game. And even at 3 players, I loved it. I loved it so much. And I still highly recommend this game if you like, you know, worker placement, action selection type games. Yeah, I think, I wonder if it also counts as an area control. Yeah, it does. Area majority influence game as well. Yeah. I like the dice actions and stuff like that. Yeah, highly recommend the Red Cathedral. I will say that the first time I ever saw it, you know, I saw people raving about it and I was like, you know, the artwork just doesn't really appeal to me, but I'm so glad I got it. The artwork has grown on me. so yeah. All right, let's see, moving on. The next game I will talk about is, I've talked about this before, but I'll talk about it again since I played it with my upgraded components. Backyard Chickens is currently on Kickstarter by Adrian Gilstrap and Don Gilstrap, art by Mac Hillier, and published by August Games. I think it has 9 days left on Kickstarter, if I am correct. Let me just see. It ends on September 14th, so yeah. So about 9 days, 10 days. So yeah, this is a deck building game and I've talked about it before, and you can see my 1-minute overview video, which is actually at the top of the Kickstarter page. So that's pretty cool. It's being used as the main video on the Kickstarter page. It's a really cool deck building game because you are affecting your chickens' moods. And so, you know, you have to make sure you keep all your chickens fed and watered and keep them happy. And so, but the reason I wanted to talk about it again is I played it as a 4-player game. The first time I played it as a 5-player game. I do think that there's one card in here which may be overpowered. So the next time I play this game, I think I will either house rule it for it to cost a lot more or just take that card out completely. It's a fountain card, which allows people to not have to water their chickens with individual water cards, and that really helps people a lot. Like, I think it's a very powerful card. Maybe it was the rain barrel. I can't remember if it was the rain barrel or fountain. Let's see, the rain barrel, well, the fountain. So, I mean, both of them are good. Maybe it was the rain barrel card. Feed and water chickens. None of your chickens require water this round, which is a huge deal because if your chickens don't require water and you know, if you didn't have enough water, typically you would have to place a thirst token on the chicken. And the thirst token would mean that that chicken would produce 2 fewer eggs when it's egg production time in the next round. And eggs are what you use to buy cards to, you know, make your deck more powerful. They're what you use to buy more chickens. They're what you use to sell to advance on the ribbon track. So eggs are very necessary in this game. So if you don't need to water your chickens, then this is a very powerful card that is super helpful. I know it costs 6 eggs, which is, I think, the highest costing card in the whole deck, but if it comes up, it's a very powerful card, I think, and I think it would help. I may just house rule it and have it cost a bit more the next time we play, because I feel like it's whoever has that card ends up winning the game. I mean, maybe not. Maybe I should play a few more times before I make that kind of a statement, but I don't know. Oh yeah, so I upgraded. I love this game so much, so I actually upgraded it with eggs from the Stonemaier Games website. So I think these are Wingspan eggs, which I've never played. I've never played Wingspan, but I went ahead and bought a bunch of eggs to use just to upgrade my prototype. So yeah, I know I have problems where I'm upgrading prototypes now even. So yeah, I really love this game, and I do highly recommend it if you like deck building games. And it actually inspired me to want to design my own deck building game. So yeah, I'm actually now going to be working on my own deck building game. I won't say much more about it, but yeah, that's all I'll say for now. Okay, back to the, okay, so we did Backyard Chickens. Okay, the next game I'm going to talk about is coming to Kickstarter on Tuesday. It's called Solar Sphere. This is designed, well, the publisher is Dronda Games. This is a prototype copy, so I think the designer names are not on the box. So let me just quickly pull it up on BGG. It is designed by Aidan Lowther and Simon Milburn. The artist is Igor Urshov and Elias Stern. Publisher Dronda Games, 1 to 4 players. So this is a science fiction game. Area majority, yes, dice rolling, set collection, yeah, worker placement. So I can't really show you the board because there's really, it's, you put it together. There's like a big sun. I'll throw up a picture of it from when I played it 2 days ago. Was it yesterday? 2 days ago. Really good game. There's 6 rounds in this game, and there's different areas of the board where you can go. So you can, there's different cards around the sun, location cards, which will allow you to do different things, which may allow you to recycle some of your drones to make them available again. You can go to the sun and claim a part of the sun. You can go and take part in combat, fight the aliens, resistance combat, which is a good way to get some points. You know, there's a whole bunch of things you can do. You can just get some resources which are what, you know, you need them to claim parts of the sun. There's set collection points when you claim parts of the sun because they have different symbols on them. And for every complete set of symbols you have, you'll get 5 points at the end. Both me and the 2 people I played with, we all felt that the game went by really fast. Like, we felt like we were just getting started when all of a sudden the game is over, and we felt like we couldn't do everything that we wanted to do. I did reach out to the publisher and you know, just talk to him about what I thought about the game. And so he just said that, you know, maybe we should have used the morale tracker a bit, like hammer down on the morale tracker to get free stuff, which is something that a lot of us didn't do very often. I think I did it once or twice. I don't know about the other players. They also said that they have recently developed the resource location cards so that you get 3 resources when upgraded instead of 2, and same for the drone location. So I think that will make a difference. So you can spend an action to go and place a drone on a location card so that the next time you go there for its action, you can have the upgraded amount of the resources you get from it. So that will definitely help, I think, in terms of feeling like that we didn't have enough time to do everything we wanted to do. So that is good to know. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's all he really mentioned. So yeah, I do recommend it. I like it. I'm glad I will be getting a production copy of it because I'm not a huge fan of terraforming Mars, and I just want some kind of a very spacey themed game. I do have Cryo, which you can't see because it's on top of my bookcase. I like Cryo. I need to play it again. I played it at 2 players and I definitely want to play it again. But yeah, it's just it's a really great game, so I do recommend you keep an eye out for it when it hits Kickstarter on Tuesday. So I think those are all the games I played. Yep. All right. So those are all the games I played this past week. So let's go to games that I am backing. So when I went onto Kickstarter, just before I started recording this video, I was like, oh, you know what? I want to talk about this one Kickstarter and see if anyone else is backing it, to see if I should back it. But then I found out that it's been canceled. It's Dr. Finn's 2022 line of games, because I was really interested in the game Alpujarras. But oh well. So yeah, so that's been canceled. He says he needs to work on shipping costs and stuff like that before he comes back and strengthen his brand name. I have not played too many Dr. Finn's games. I've played Mob Big Apple, which is published by TGG Games, which I absolutely love. It's a really great 2-player game if you want to check that out. He did send me School of Sorcery, so I need to play that. But I don't think I've played any of his other games. So yeah, in terms of Kickstarters I'm backing, it's still the same as before: Backyard Chickens, Sunrise Market, and Wild Serengeti. I haven't backed anything new. So let me go to, so there was one game I played with Randall, which I did not talk about because I'm going to talk about it now in the next section, which is games that I am culling. So this, as soon as I played, I feel really bad saying this, but as soon as I played it, I knew that I would be culling this game because, well, first I'll mention which game it is. It's Eco's First Continent. And I feel really bad because last week when I started this culling section, the game I mentioned was also published by AEG, which was Sheepy Time, and this is another AEG game. So I just want to say, before I get into the reasons of why I'm culling this, I do love AEG games. There's a number of them that I'm absolutely obsessed with, which, you know, like Tiny Towns I love Calico, which is, you know, co-published with Flat Out Games, and also Cascadia. And AEG has a game that I'm really looking forward to trying and playing, which I think I will love just based on the mechanics and the theme, Whirling Witchcraft. So I really want to get my hands on Whirling Witchcraft because I just know I will love it. Santa Monica is another AEG game that I absolutely love. So there are AEG games that I absolutely love. This just is not one of them. So Randall and I played a 2-player game of it, and first let me mention who it's designed by. It's designed by John D. Clare. It is for 2 to 6 players. So basically you are going to be putting out different terrain types, and you have cards in your hand that you are trying to fulfill those requirements. So there's different terrain types, like there's like grass, the plains, there's like the more deserty area, there's water, and the cards, let me see if I can find the cards in here somewhere. Okay, so you are going to have a number of cards in front of you, which will allow you to perform different actions. So, and someone is going to have a bag, and they're going to draw out these really nice chunky tokens, tiles from that bag. I think they're called tiles, not tokens, I don't know, like these things. So when this gets pulled out, you will get to place a cube on it, so that once it's filled up with cubes, you will shout Ecos, and then you get to activate the ability on the card. Like this one will allow you to gain 2 points, and then gain 2 points if adjacent. So first you're going to put down a mountain somewhere, then you'll gain 2 points, and then you'll gain 2 points if adjacent to 0 or 1 mountains. So there's a bunch of different cards in this game. Like some of them will allow you to place down an animal token on a certain area. Some of them will just allow you to place down a tile. Some of them will, some of them were really powerful. I can't remember. I had a really good one which allowed me to get a crap ton of points. I can't remember which card that was, and I'm not going to go through the whole stack. The reason I am calling this game is because I did not feel any tie-in between the theme and the mechanics. Like, you know, as someone who loves animals and is all about animal conservation and stuff like that, like, I was super excited to finally get this game off of my shelf of shame, but I was oh so disappointed while playing it. Like, there was just like, you know, you're just putting down cubes onto these things when you pull the tile out of the bag, and then you yell Ecos, and then you get to do an action, and the actions like really have nothing to do with like, conservation or the environment or animals. Even when you put down animal tokens, it's not like you get to do some special ability based on what kind of animal it is. Like, it just felt so disjointed. There was like just no connection between theme and mechanics. I just felt like I was just doing actions that had no meaning. It just felt very yeah, I don't know, it just didn't do it for me at all. And I know there are people who love this game, which is great, you know, to each their own. But for me, it just did not do it. So yeah, it's being culled. You know, I've talked about Wild Serengeti, which is a game I did a 1-minute overview video for. I think the one thing I had to say, like the one minor complaint I had about that game as well, was that when you are moving animals, like you don't really, or taking actions, there's nothing really related to the type of animal it is. Like you're not like saying, okay, this lion is gonna eat this elephant. There's nothing like that in the game, but still I felt more of a connection between theme and mechanics in Wild Serengeti than I did in this game. Because at least in Wild Serengeti, you are photographers and you're trying to take pictures of the animals when they're in a certain arrangement based on the cards that you have. Like, I feel like the story just matches up a little bit more with the mechanics, and at least there's a great migration in that game where, you know, certain animals get wiped off of the board and you know, you get to kind of start over. Here, I just didn't feel any real connection between the theme and mechanics, and Randall said he felt the same way. And we were both like really surprised that, you know, there's people who really, really love this game. So I think if you don't care about, you know, a strong tie-in between theme and mechanics, then this could be a really good game for you. But for me, it just didn't do it. But you know, I will speak highly of the components because it comes with these like crate things where you can store the components in, and that's really nice. So yeah, so this game is being culled, unfortunately. I do have some other AEG games that I'm really looking forward to playing. I got War Chest, which I've heard people speak very highly about, so I'm looking forward to playing that. So, you know, but some games are just hit and miss, and this one was just a miss for me, unfortunately. So let's move on to questions. Okay, so top 5 games you might introduce to people who are new to gaming. That is a really good question. So let me think. I know I should probably prepare ahead of time, but I just can't be bothered. Okay, so, I think I would want like some kind of a tile placement game. Some kind of a tile placement game. So maybe, oh, I really like Honey Buzz. Maybe for worker placement, Honey Buzz. I should play that again sometime soon because I absolutely love it. I think Honey Buzz is like a accessible, like I think it's a, it's a really good worker placement with a really good tie-in between theme and mechanics. I would not recommend the memory mode of it though, so don't play the memory mode, which I did the first time I ever played that game. But yeah, really good tie-in between theme and mechanics. The theme is just so lovely and the artwork is just so amazing. So for worker placement, I think I would definitely go with Honey Buzz. I would definitely say Meadow for set collection, definitely Meadow. It may be a little bit difficult to understand the first time how it works when you can place down cards on top of other cards, but yeah, I definitely recommend Meadow. So there we go. That's 2 games so far. Okay. Mancala style game, 5 Tribes. 5 Tribes is one of my all-time favorite games, so I think 5 Tribes would definitely have to be in there. So that's, you know, actually I had never played Mancala before I played 5 Tribes, so that whole mechanic was actually really new to me, and I don't know how many people have played Mancala. I had never even heard of it. Let's see, what else? Okay, I guess I should maybe throw in a 2-player game, or maybe like a social deduction game. For social deduction, I really like Secret Hitler, but I know the theme can be off-putting to some people. So instead of Secret Hitler, maybe Avalon. Avalon is really good. One of the most fun social deduction experiences, yes, that I ever had was playing Avalon. Someone played the game so well. We had the maximum player count, and there was one person who we thought was on the good side, and we were convinced he was on the good side because of something he had done earlier in the game, but he was just playing the long game. And then in the very end, we decided to like have him go on the mission, and he totally screwed us over, and we were just completely shocked. And Merlin was was just not doing a very good job of warning us. And so, but it was like the most fun experience I've ever had playing a social deduction game. And this person showed up to game night that one time and then never showed up again. And it was just like this person that we still talk about. It's like a legend. Like, oh, this guy showed up and he like totally like, you know, made us have the most fun experience ever of Avalon, and then we never saw him again. But yeah, it was just really awesome. All right, so is that 4 games? I mentioned Honey Buzz, I mentioned Avalon, I mentioned something else, 5 Tribes, Hidden Movement. I guess I could mention a Hidden Movement game. I love Whitehall Mystery. So yeah, I really like Whitehall Mystery. I know, again, the theme can be off-putting to some people, like, you know, Jack the Ripper is going around London killing people, and then there's investigators trying to catch him. I prefer it as a 2-player game. Gosh, what else? Abstract game. I guess I could mention an abstract game. It might be a little bit difficult for people to get a grasp of in the beginning. I tried teaching my 2 sisters and my brother-in-law Azul Summer Pavilion, and I think my brother-in-law just wasn't paying attention, so maybe that's why it just took him forever to like figure out what he was doing. But I feel like my sister's caught on. So yeah, Azul Summer Pavilion, I think I prefer it to the original Azul now. So maybe those. I think those are, Push Your Luck game, Quacks of Quedlinburg. So yes, highly recommend Quacks of Quedlinburg. So to a new gamer, if you want something really fun, I highly recommend that. Okay, so maybe that's more than 5 games now, but those are some really good starting games. You know, that's a really good idea for a video. I might do a top 10 video of games to introduce to new players. I like that idea because I haven't done a list video in a while. So I think I will do that. Okay. Yeah, let's move on. I think I've named a couple of games that, you know, I think are good for new gamers, and I'll come out with a video hopefully at some point. Okay, do you have trouble with random games? Do you prefer less dice-based games? Yes, I do have trouble with them because I want some kind of strategy. I want some kind of control over what I'm doing and the outcome of the game. Like, I don't want to just play a game and feel like, you know, there's nothing you can do to determine who's going to win or lose. So there has to, if there's dice in the game, there has to be some kind of way to mitigate bad luck in the game. And so most of the games I play with dice in them have some kind of mitigation in them. So for example, Runika and the Six-Sided Spellbooks, there's things you can do to re-roll dice. What else? What other dice game do I like? The Red Cathedral. There's things you can do to help you out with the dice. Like you can, if it's a die of your own color or the wild die, the white one, you can pay money to move it an extra number of spaces on the rondel. So that helps. So yes, I don't mind dice-based games as long as there is some kind of way to mitigate bad luck. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, I don't mind them at all, actually. I actually quite like dice, actually, because I love the chunky feeling of like dice. Like I love Dice Throne. I don't know, you can't see it. I have a big box of Dice Throne up there. Season 2 re-rolled, I think, or season 1 re-rolled. And they have really nice dice in them, like the custom dice. I love games with really nice custom dice. So yeah, so I'm definitely, it's not that I'm against dice games at all, I'm not. What games under $50 are you most looking forward to? So Devere Games, I feel like Devere has become one of my favorite publishers. I really like a lot of their games. Well, not a lot. I guess I haven't played too many. I really like Paris. I like the Red Cathedral. Okay, maybe I haven't played too many. I've played Razzia, which I thought was a really cute dice worker placement game. Have I played anything else of theirs? But so maybe I haven't played a lot of their games, but they have some small games coming out, which I'm really looking forward to. They're coming out with an expansion to Paris. I don't know if it's an expansion or a standalone game, but I think it's an expansion. And they also had some other games that they mentioned that they are releasing at Essen, which looked really good. What else? I don't know if it's going to be under $50, but I really like Imaginarium by Bombix Games, and I actually really like Lure Glow, which is also by Bombix Games. So Bombix Games is coming out with a 2-player version of Imaginarium, which I am so looking forward to. I imagine it will be under $50, so I am dying for that game. I believe it's called Nicodemus. So that's by Bombyx Games. I just cannot wait for that. And I also really need to get the expansion to Imaginarium. But Imaginarium is definitely one of my favorite worker placement games. If only I had played it before going on the Dice Tower, because I would have mentioned it on that show then. Because I love the theme, I love the mechanics of it, I just love everything about it. So yeah, I highly recommend Imaginarium. Oh my gosh, this is a good question. What is the ugliest board game you like playing? The ugliest board game I like playing. Wow, that is a good question. To be honest, I'm not sure that I can answer that because I don't like ugly board games. I think that like one of the things about me is that the artwork has to appeal to me for me to like a board game. But I guess I'll choose a game that has artwork that maybe isn't the most appealing to me, but I still love it. Oh, the Red Cathedral. There we go. The artwork did not appeal to me that much, but like I said, it's grown on me because I love the game, so the artwork has started to grow on me. But yeah, originally I was not a fan of the artwork of the Red Cathedral. Yeah, I think that's it. Sorry, I don't mean to turn my back to you guys while I'm trying to answer this question. But yeah, I guess I'll go with the Red Cathedral. Maybe that's just a very easy answer to give right now. I have big brown boxes covering a lot of my Calyx cubes, so I can't even see them because I have big boxes stacked in front of them filled with games. Yeah, let's go with the Red Cathedral because, like I said, the artwork did not appeal to me. If I think of any other ugly games, I will mention them. You know, it's not really a matter of ugly. I think there are games that I like unique art. I like games with unique art, and I feel like I'm getting bored of seeing the same artwork over and over. Like I love Meadow, I love his artwork, but I'm kind of getting tired of seeing it in so many games, to be honest. So I just want to see different types of artwork. I just want to see like a bunch of different kinds of art, and that, you know, I want some kinds that are like really like whimsical and some that are really like, you know, like mysterious looking. Like I just like different kinds of artwork. Honestly, yeah, I mean, even the Red Cathedral, I feel bad saying that it's ugly because I don't think it's ugly, but it just didn't appeal to me as much. Okay, I guess I can move on to the next question because I don't know what else to say about that. What is your favorite band? Okay, so non-board gaming related. My favorite band, I like all kinds of music, like really just all kinds. I think the only kinds of music I don't like are like heavy metal or like very vulgar rap, like hardcore country music. I think those are like the only kinds of music that I really don't like. But I do like all kinds of music. Some of my favorite bands are like One Republic. I like, what else do I like? It's really hard to name names when you are put on the spot. Maybe I should have made the list in advance. There's this one English band I like. I can't remember their name now, but I like a number of their songs. They have songs like Stay, Devotion. God, what are they called? I don't remember their name now. Oh, I can't stop the video. Oh, well, let me just see. You know what? If I just type in Stay lyrics, maybe that'll bring it up. No. That didn't bring it up. Okay, Devotion lyrics. Maybe that'll bring it up. Hertz. Yes, Hertz is the band's name. So I like Hertz. I like One Republic. I hate to say this, I like the Jonas Brothers. I like their new music that has come out in the last couple of years, 2 years. I never really listened to their music when I was, you know, years ago when they were first on the scene. But then I heard some of their songs on the radio and I really ended up liking them. But yeah, I like all kinds of music. I really like, you know, Lana Del Rey. I like Adele. I like, you know, I like some alternative music. I like rock music. Like I really like all kinds of music. It's really hard for me to say what my favorites are. My playlist is just a mishmash of a whole bunch of different things. But like I said, no heavy metal, no like hardcore country or like really like hardcore rap. I like Eminem, so I can do like Eminem kind of rap, but like, you know, other kinds of rap, maybe not so much. Okay, so I don't have any more questions, so I just want to talk briefly about the GAMA elections, because if you follow me on Twitter, you may have seen me posting a lot about it, and on Facebook. So I became a member of GAMA recently so that I could have my voice heard in the GAMA Facebook group, because someone is running for the publisher seat of the board of directors, and this person has targeted me on Twitter. They've targeted other people on Twitter and elsewhere. They've targeted AntLab Games, and I have had private messages sent to me since I started speaking out against this person, saying that they had also targeted these people, so they are thankful for me to speak out against them and voice my concerns about this person being on the board of directors of GAMA. So this person back in January was one of the people who posted about me taking off my mask for like 2 seconds, 30 seconds to take a picture more than 20 feet away from any other humans. And they called me out by name in a tweet, and I had so many of their supporters or just people who follow them come on my Twitter page and harass me and bully me for 2 months. Like, I dealt with that for like 2 whole months of just harassment and bullying. And then in June, when I made a claim of discrimination against a publisher for Islamophobia and for them also, you know, just being against discriminating against me because I spoke out for Palestinian rights. And then I called some people out for Islamophobia as well at the same time for the way I was being treated. This person had made a whole thread about how I have mental health issues, and that's why I am making a claim of discrimination, and that I should just be basically ignored because I have mental health issues. So this person is basically trying to, you know, detract from my claims that I'm making, and the whole narrative became Sarah is a dangerous person, she's a difficult person, that she just wants to burn all bridges because she has mental health issues. So that was trying to delegitimize my claims of discrimination by claiming I have issues. This person is not a mental health professional. I have never spoken to them before. They decided to diagnose me on their own and slander me on the internet. And they have not once addressed any of these tweets since they announced their candidacy for this seat on the board of directors. So I had posted on, so they had a post in the GAMA Facebook group, GAMA members. They had a post where I posted screenshots of what they had said to me, and they blocked me. So they would not acknowledge anything I said. They would deflect time and time again, and they would say, oh, well, you have targeted people for Islamophobia. Well, it's like, okay, great. First of all, I have not targeted anyone. If I call out people for Islamophobia, that is not targeting them. And you, as a trans person, have called out people for transphobia. Is that targeting people then when you call out people for transphobia? If that's not targeting people, then me saying that some people have been Islamophobic is not targeting those people either. This person deflected time and time again, would refuse to answer any questions about, you know, would refuse to apologize. They have yet to acknowledge or apologize for what they have done. They just deflect time and time again, and then blocked me to silence me. And back in June, they went on a rampage telling people to basically unfriend me. I had so many people unfriend me, and from what I had heard. So people who were originally speaking out against the discrimination I was facing, like Matt Lease of Shut Up and Sit Down, was originally speaking up for me, saying, yes, Sarah should not be treated like this, and then did a complete 180 where he switched his views and was like all of a sudden saying Sarah is a difficult person. Anything she's saying should be ignored. So it became all about me being a difficult person once this person, Tiffany Cares, made this whole thread on Twitter. So they are running for the GAMA Board of Elections, saying that they care about inclusivity, they want to make everyone's voices heard, yet they've done nothing to show that they actually, they've maybe done other things to show they care about other kinds of inclusivity, but they've engaged in behaviors which have harmed me and have not, been held accountable. So these people are the kind of people who always say people should be held accountable for things that they do. They should face the consequences of their own but apparently that does not apply to T and their supporters. Eric Lang has been very outspoken for his support of T, and anytime I've asked him, like, well, are you going to hold T accountable for, their behaviors, which their slander against me, their inciting bullying and harassment against me back in January? No response. These people do nothing but deflect and ignore any valid questions. So I hope that if anyone is watching this and they are in the publishers section of GAMA, that they will really think long and hard about what kind of a leader they want on the GAMA board. Do you want someone who cannot take any kind of criticism, who will not address their past behaviors, will not apologize for wrongs that they have committed in the past against people who did not deserve those wrongs? Is that the kind of leader you want in GAMA? If so, then great, vote for T, and I hope that they will at some point face the consequences of their actions and be held accountable for what they have done. At the very least, I can make them held accountable by bringing a lawsuit against them for slander, because T is a leader in this community, and T did make a whole thread about how I have mental health issues, which then did affect many people's perceptions of me and did affect my business as well. I mean, I've had a number of publishers refuse to work with me now because I'm difficult, which is a narrative that T started. So, if they don't want to hold themselves accountable, maybe I can hold them accountable then, because I'm really sick and tired of the double standards in this industry, and I am sick and tired of being treated like this by people. So we'll see what happens. The GAMA elections run until September 15th, I believe, and then the winner will be announced. The opponent is Stefan Brassard. He is the CEO, I believe, of Yellow Games. That's IELLO. They've published like Bunny Kingdom, Royal Visit, and a bunch of really great games. He is the opponent, and one of the narratives that people are trying to drive home about him is that he assaulted someone at Gen Con. I would tell people to please do your research. He did not assault someone. There's a whole story out there, and despite him not assaulting someone, he still, took accountability and still went and took an anger management course, and there have been no other incidents related to him since then. It's what happened was he was trying to bring in boxes into the exhibition hall. The person was not letting him pass, and he was carrying a bunch of boxes, and he couldn't see the person in front of him and bumped into them. That is not assaulting someone. Someone got bumped into while he was carrying a bunch of boxes and got bruised from those boxes because they were heavy and filled with games. That is not assaulting someone. And they had to sit down with him and Yellow's attorney and the person who, was hurt in this incident, and he agreed to, not come to the exhibition and leave the convention. And he took an anger management course, and there's been no incidents since then. So this whole narrative that he assaulted someone is false. It's not true. And again, it's slander. So these people really will do anything that they can to get their own candidate into office. Stefan Brassard is someone who, and these people are always talking about take accountability, apologize. Well, what did Stefan do? Even though he didn't assault someone, he took an anger management course. So why does that not count for anything? Why are people not focusing on the steps he took to make sure that, this whole situation could be remedied, and that, he could be held accountable for his actions if people felt he did something wrong? But again, these kinds of things, when people say they want people to be held accountable, I really don't think that they care about apologies. Like, even when Ant Lab Games clarified their position, the bullying didn't stop, the harassment didn't stop. Years later, they're still being called, victim blamers and stuff like that. And that's not the case. They're not victim blamers, but people don't care about apologies. People who are, intent on canceling others, it's not apologies that they're looking for. It's not growth that they're looking for. They're looking for power. It's all about power. So I would ask people to, unfortunately, I think I'm preaching to the choir. I think anyone who's watching this is probably not in the publisher section of GAMA, that they can vote for Stefan against Tiffany. but you know, I just wanted my voice heard. So yeah, so you may have seen my Twitter filled with tweets about this because I am very passionate about it, because I am someone who was targeted by this person, and I don't believe that they deserve any kind of a leadership role in this board gaming community until they take, you know, take accountability and face the consequences of their actions. But they don't want to do that. They think that they have done nothing wrong apparently and have yet to apologize, and I've been blocked on all platforms by this person. So, and they haven't responded to these, you know, concerns anywhere, whether on Twitter, on their own profile, on Facebook, in the GAMA group, on, you know, Jeff Berggren's Facebook post, which was public and anyone could comment on. They have not responded to these valid concerns anywhere. So not deserving of a leadership role in my opinion. So yeah, I guess I will end the video now. So as always, thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comment section below. And until next time, bye!